Hello everyone. Just sit down here and getting squared away, getting ready to start napping. So I went ahead and turned my video on. I think I'm gonna work this piece of Flint Ridge. It's just one of the lighter mottled looking gray white pieces of chalcedony, but it's a pretty large piece, all things considered. If I can keep it together, I know I'm gonna have to lose some of it. I can see a crack, a couple of seams going in here, and there's probably some unexpected stuff in there. But hopefully I can at least get a decent sized point out of this. I'd like to try to make a dovetail. So let's see how it goes. I'm just going to start out by getting rid of anything I don't necessarily need. I wonder if I can make a turkey tail out of this thing. That might work good because I'd be flaking across using large flakes. I could clear it pretty fast. Let me try to do that. I wonder if I could, as long as I can get past this thing. If I can't get by that, it's gonna kill my width. I guess I could still make a narrow one. Let me see what happens with this thing here first. I have to support this thing really well. It will punish me. So I'm going to try to set up a couple platforms to try to get going this direction. So maybe I can get one right in here and hope it cuts under that. Or would I be better off to come from back here, maybe? I think maybe so. Maybe back here first. Because that's a pretty good size roadblock there. And this thing's even got an angle coming into it, so it'd definitely be smarter to set one up back here. Let's take this edge in a little bit. And give us a little bit of convexity to work with on the back side too. Nice short flakes, not stepping them, trying not to. Just shearing the edge off to get rid of that delicateness. Okay, so now we got our whole edge lowered. And ground. So I'm going to go ahead and take a flake up here to create a ridge running in this direction. I'll just grab my solid copper bopper billet. Okay, I'm pinching end to end, supporting the piece well, holding it together. I'm going to reach back here with my pinky, tip of my pinky, and just support that flake a little bit. Because I want it to go kind of deep to create a nice ridge up in there. Yeah, I didn't hit that one real good. That's okay, that'll create a little bit of an isolation for me, hopefully. Still didn't catch enough of it. Probably should have warmed up a little bit first. Alright. Let's try this again. Get with the program, Brad. Alright. That was better. So that worked pretty good. Go ahead and take this edge back a little bit. We're gonna have to get rid of it anyways, so it's so thin there. And that'll isolate this a little bit more. Turn it over and lower that platform. So it's angled now and it's running right into that mass. Right into there where that step fracture is going to be. I'm trying to get rid of. I'm just going to isolate that platform a little bit more on the other side. Give it a nice good grind. And then I can either hit it with my billet or I can get my indirect out. Since I'm not doing real good with my billet right now, I think I'll use my indirect. I'm definitely going to want some surface support. Try to get that flake to hold down deep and go up under that stuff. It's probably going to take more than one flake, but this is the one here that really get the ball rolling for us. We want to make sure it's got a good purchase. We're supporting the workpiece, squeezing end to end so it's not going to break on us. Holding it, not making sure not to put any bending forces on it. I'm going to angle my strike upwards into that step fracture. Not too much. I want it to have a good seat on there, but I'll direct my force that way too. Alright. Didn't feel like it went. And it tried to. Okay, let me try one more from back there before we give up on it. Alright. Popped it off there. I thought it didn't make it because it kicked real hard when I hit it, but it just enough support for it to make it through there. In other words, I was holding on to the workpiece just tight enough. I just sheared that edge down. That'll give me a continuous platform all the way across through there. So go ahead and take, now that we got rid of that, I can take another flake here and work my way on down through there. I'm just going to keep using the indirect. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I know I jump around between a lot of different tools a lot. That's just me. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily, ooh, that was not good. I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing that. I'd say probably learn one tool completely before you move on, but there is an advantage to using different tools. A lot of different tools. A lot of them use different techniques, and you'll figure things out doing one technique with one tool, maybe something different with another tool. That didn't make any sense. You guys know what I'm talking about. It helps you figure things out, little things along the way. Alright. Tuck this thing in a little bit. Did you guys see how I just sheared both sides of that way and it kind of isolated it right there? These spurred platforms are bad news, though. You want to get rid of those. There's usually nothing behind them except air. You can't nap air, as John Tuttle says. Old Johnny T. You guys haven't watched John Tuttle's Flint Napping channel, he's got a YouTube channel. Really cool guy. Got some good jokes, I'll give him that. He's a heck of a flint napper too, huh? But he's got some good jokes. I like the one about his duck dog, or dog that was diving down after ducks in the pond. I might want to switch over to direct percussion to try to get this thing worked into shape here a little bit. At least get a good working edge around it before I start with this. I got some funky rolled edges on here. They are all funkadelic. Funkadelic. So we'll take one there. One there. A couple there. This looks like it's way high, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. This is high right here, but this is kind of low. So I want to build convexity on this low flat side first and get rid of these little layers it looks like it's going on. So I'm going to turn my edge on up. Now I can trim it all the way down. Sometimes what I like to do, and it kind of helps conserve a little bit of width, I think, is to work back and forth. That'll help you build convexity at the same time as well. Ooh. You always want to pay real close attention to the feedback of your tool and vibrations and the sounds it's making and all that good stuff. I wouldn't have needed to take those larger flakes through there, but what that does is gives me contours and ridges to follow when I get done working over here and I switch back. You know, if there's still left there and width left there, I'll have something to work with instead of just having one flat surface. Of course, you could do it. You could just leave it flat, and then before you get ready to flake it, you could go through and prepare it in the same manner by taking a couple flakes. But sometimes I'll just do that ahead of time. I just kind of do it. It's second nature now, I guess. when you're able to, it really helps to try to look ahead as much as you can. I'm usually looking ahead about 0.2 seconds. Okay, so now this edge is down low enough where I think I might be able to remove some of this thickness right here. It just looks kind of inviting, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to get a flake right there. And give it some back edge support against my knuckle back in here. So I'm driving it into right into the bone back there. I've learned here recently that you're only going to get so far with the tool you're swinging, and if you're relying on the mass of the workpiece and you're only holding it so tight, there's going to be a limit to how far your flakes are going to go and the results you're going to get. Beyond that, it comes down to your support hand, which is my left hand, and I'm learning that this hand does more than this hand does. As far as getting flakes to run, and once you start getting the feel for it, you can really control the flakes. Not 100%, of course, but a lot more than other methods I've been using. I mean, I really wasn't using any support for here up till maybe 6 months ago. Man, that thing really hurt. I ain't even gonna lie. I might as well go ahead and remove some of this thickness off the belly of this piece that way when I flip over to this other side, I can just clear it and it'll be pretty much ready to go. Because it's pretty much flat. It's got a little bit of a dip in it, but once I take the tip down, which I should probably go ahead and do, thin this side of the tip. Helping it a little bit. Alright. A lot of times you might probably notice in the camera that my first few swings are all over the place, and then I'll kind of hone it in. Sometimes the first couple are just to get my hand moving and the speed and my, hitting it with the correct force. So a couple practice swings, thinking about the flake you're wanting to take and how much force you want to apply and what angle. Maybe get an A for effort on that one, but it didn't make it. Probably should have had a bigger bopper. That's something I would recommend, is just to have, if you're only using one tool, whether it be indirect or direct percussion, I'd have different weights of mallets and different densities and hardnesses, and because that really does make a difference on how the flake releases. As far as indirect percussion, like using a wood, hickory, hardwood mallet, or even a live branch, and as opposed to using antler or bone or Teflon or whatever. A lot of people use their boppers, copper boppers, and that's fine, but you're missing out on all that speed. Sometimes you want to remove a flake faster. So you need a different, lighter weight billet. Just helps to have some variation in your toolkit, even if it's just a little bit of it. Well, I'm getting me a working edge and some contours kind of going around through here. Just taking what's jumping out at me as far as flakes, where I'm get them off there clean. Remove a little bit of thickness. I gotta do something here and clean that up. My only chance is really coming from this side. I'm already getting a little too narrow for the turkey tail. Unless I did a narrow type one. It's kind of looking more like it wants to be something else, so. I'm going to go ahead and bring this edge in quite a bit. That'll allow me to maybe get to some of this from this other side. Just removing short flakes. Okay. So this looks like a dandy of a platform right here. Just give it a little shear and drop it down. So right there, that looks like a good one. I feel like I can remove a lot of mass under here. And I could hit that with my billet with a little finger support. Come down and hit it and remove that flake. Or if I really wanted to make sure everything went to plan, I can get my little bit of soft leather support, put underneath there. I want a nice thick flake It removes quite a bit of mass. I'm still supporting it. I'm squeezing with my fingertip, pushing the back of the piece into my palm. Got my nice heavy elk antler billet. Got the support underneath there. No bending forces. Take the flake. And look how good that thing did. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted. So now I'll just move down here and isolate one right here. Just grab my little rock here and give it a little scrunch there and a little scrunch here. Here, scrunch. Everywhere, scrunch, scrunch. Alright. That's it. I think I was in frame there. Okay, so we're wanting to remove quite a bit of thickness with this one. So I'm going to put some leather underneath of it. This kind of helps it, makes it easier to hold on to when you're supporting it with that leather also. Okay, this is a really stout looking platform. I mean, it's all rounded off and looks pretty stout, so, and it's kind of high. It's not, it's right at center line, maybe. Could be even higher than that. So what I'll do is just come in here and I'll just take a little flake there, maybe a little flake there. Grab my abrader, lower it down. That looks a lot better. I know it's a lot of preparation, but it's worth it when you get the flake you want. And it cleared it all the way across, 3/4 of the way. Okay, and get another one maybe down here. I'm gonna it should undercut that step fracture, no problem. But just in case, I'm gonna put a little leather under it. I'm telling you, this soft leather support can really help. A nice, steady, slow swing. I'm trying to swing straight through this thing here. And a lot of times I'll put the heaviest part of my billet out in front. I'll catch it kind of further back, so that makes the flake release slower. And that sometimes can keep the platform in contact with your tooltip a little longer. If you choke up on it and hit back in here. But you want to try to strike straight through the tool. Okay, we got a couple nice percussion scars there. Now I could chance it and try to wrap a flake up in here and see if I can get up underneath that. Or I could wait, try to get at it from back here again, or try from over here. I'm going to try one from up here just because I think it might work. I'm not really going to isolate this much because I want it to tear a pretty good portion of that edge off with it when it releases to get deep. So I definitely want surface support. I want to direct my force in this direction. So back towards me. Hook onto the edge. Support well. Okay, that actually blew through part of it. So, not too bad. Actually left a pretty good ridge going in to that part of it, but I think maybe I'll run one from over here and just to see how it does. I'm not just going to jump straight at it. I'm going to take a couple small ones on to work my way into the problem. There we go. And that ain't good. Made another step fracture. Okay, so I'm going to actually try to hit this platform right here. It's really kind of high. Looks like it's probably too high to hit, but I'm going to hit it anyways. That's the only way to get under that. It felt good. Look at that. Got it, by George. All right, now what? Go ahead and try to get a couple more thinning flakes. It's just a couple that's jumping out at me. It looks like they want to go. Okay, this is kind of overhanging here. I can't do anything with that, so I'm going to trim it back. You know, the indirect copper tool is perfect for setting up platforms or building them. All you gotta do is take a couple short flakes with it. It's a platform isolating machine. I am using extreme caution because this thing could break any second. I'm supporting it as well as I can. Now this bad boy is pretty thin. Right meow. if I get one here, maybe. I don't want to get too cocky, but usually as long as you got your tip anchored into your leg or your tip supported in your hand, you're safe. And you're applying force back and forth, supporting the piece. But it's always dangerous every time you do it. Daggone, I felt like it almost got me through my glove. Good thing I had it on. Hey man, this thing, I don't want to speak too soon, but it's shaping up pretty good. Platform was probably okay, but I know I can make it even better pretty easily. Now it almost doesn't have a choice but to take the flake you want, as long as you got your angles right. Let's come back here and shear that edge off up until it gets to the next ridge or thick spot, and it'll stop shearing off there. And so usually you flip it over and you're into enough mass where you can hop forward about a 1/4 inch. Take a little shear ahead of it if you want to. If not, no biggie. And just make sure your edge is at the right height and below center line, and you got a nice little platform there. I'm going to use a little bit of support, surface support. Make sure I'm on the right platform here. Nice. Same thing, I'm just going to shear my edge back. Yep. Make that platform. I'm kind of angle this one in that direction. Might want to lower that platform just a fuzz too. I think I'll just use a little finger support. Yeah. I'm gonna come over here and try to get one back this way. Just take a little short one there. Nice. That went all the way over there. I'm not going to push my luck anymore with that. I think what I'll do is just go ahead and start pressure flaking this thing. So I'm going to put a update video out on my auction, weekly auction. I'm going to cancel that auction for a while. Just, it went okay. I mean, the points are what's killing me. The points aren't bringing enough money, and I can get a lot more for them I sell them on Facebook and stuff. You know, and that's to be expected with the auction thing. I understand that. It was cool for a while. It was fun. But I'll be listing my stuff on a couple different places on Facebook, on my personal page, under Bradmore, and I've got a flint napping group. It's called Learning to Flint Nap on Facebook. And it's growing super fast. You gotta check it out. But I'll be listing stuff on there. And as far as the material goes, I'll be listing that on a group called Flint Napping Materials, Buy, Sell, and Trade. That's a friend of mine, is the administrator. He allows people to sell their stuff on there, not finished work, but material, or napping tools or supplies or anything. And so I'll be probably listing small flat rate boxes on there for sale. Definitely think I'm going to do a dovetail out of this thing. I need to bring my tip way over. Got some funkiness going on down here, so I'm going to get rid of it. There's like a cone or old seam or something going in right at the base right there where my notch would be, so I'm going to have to sacrifice some length to get rid of that. Sometimes it helps to strike on an angle crossways to prevent end snap. But like I said, as long as you're supporting the piece well in your hand, squeezing it in ways, it's, and you know, all around. Man, it's a knot in there. I can feel it. You can hear it, huh? I'm just brushing the edge now. I'm not trying to take big flakes, just brushing flakes. I think I'm clear of that thing. So just bring the bottom of the edge back to center. And we'll leave it there. Might make a cool Scott's bluff. And ending up with a Clovis shape again, huh? What I'm gonna do with this thing? I'm gonna do a dovetail. Yep. So this face looks pretty good with percussion. Comes a helicopter. What in the world's that, Noodle? Holy smokes. Looked like a Black Hawk and a something. Some kind of big single propeller helicopter. Oh man, a lot of military activity here lately. We usually don't see that. I was arrowhead hunting here a couple, 3 months ago, and I heard something coming, turn around. Here come this, it was an A10 warthog, two of them. I don't know why I knew that's what those were. I don't really know jets like that, but I must have seen a documentary or something like that's an A10. But But yeah, they were pretty wild. They were flying real super slow, real super, super low. The first pilot looked, when he banked up to the side and turned, he looked down at me out in that field, and I waved, and he waved back. So he was close enough I could see him. But they were just cruising up the river valley. Like, man, that's got to be cool. So yeah, anyways, what was I talking about? I'm going to do a dovetail. This face looks pretty good. I can bevel this edge, get a couple nice scars going across there. Or do I want to do something different with this thing? I wonder if I could get a set of E notches to go up in there. I bet I could. I'm going to make an E notch. A great big, long, narrow E notch. That's the plan. Stan, I'm going to leave some of that Cortex on there too. What I'm doing now is just starting to work on my bevel, because if I'm going to do a Thebes, I'm going to put a bevel on it. Guess I can at least zoom you guys in, make this a little bit more interesting. Get the light going on. So I made my pass down this side. Now I'm working on this side. This might even make a cool, big, long, big sandy. Kind of big for a big sandy, I guess. No, they made big old, great big sandies. Big sandies. Big. I'll tell you one I have been wanting to really make is a E-notch Big Sandy. I had no idea they even existed. I seen somebody find one on a YouTube video here a while back. I think it was Seth Carl. My tip has loosened up on me. It's causing me all kind of problems. This edge here wouldn't be too bad for a dovetail, but for the thieves, I guess it would still be okay. I kind of like this edge here more for the E-notch thing, so I am going to bring it in, make one more pass. Same direction, building that bevel. Man, big old thick spot on that edge right there. You can't be kidding me. There we go. Skip ahead a little bit, take a flake to isolate that area a little bit more because it's got more mass to remove. Man, that thing ran out there and stepped a little bit. What in the world was that? Your meowers all messed up. What'd you eat? Huh? Quit eating them bird feathers. You got a gullet full of feathers? You said, meow. to take a couple little pressure flakes in here just to kind of smooth that out. I want this to be a flat surface with percussion scars. Man, that step fracture right there is in a really bad spot. Oh, I usually don't. I can't really say that. I do it all the time. I'm trying to pick this thing off here. Crystal pocket in there is what caused that. You laying on my pressure flaker, dude? You are, ain't you? No? Sorry. What in the... Oh, man. I hate it when that happens. Drop it. My goodness. Alright, let's use my ishy stick. You eat it? You ate it, didn't you? Alright, we're getting in there now. Afraid to chip into there. I want to send one in there, but there's a crystal pocket right there, and I don't think it's gonna make it through there, so I'm not gonna try. I think we're about ready for some notches. So that'll be interesting. I'm going to bring my edge just about to center. Like the way the base is looking. Get us a pencil and draw us a line. Probably something like that. And give it a whirl. I'll probably hug the upper limit of that line. So what I'll do is start out with a metal tool. I'm going to take two small flakes. I'm going to try to go. I'm going to try to be realistic about my opening, the size of my notch going in. So I can take it in at the right width. And I'm not clipping edges and stuff once I get in there. I like to try to keep them as tight as I can, but sometimes that don't always work out. Okay, so I got that one started. Push that one in a little ways. Square notches out. What are you doing? Okay. So, got them started pretty good there. Maybe if I can get a couple more flakes with my welding rod, then I might be able to punch them. Maybe. Not off to a great start. There we go. Ideally, you just want to hear one pop instead of like 6. But you'll notice I'm still concentrating on going in 2 small flakes wide. That can really help bail you out when you get into trouble sometimes. Like right now. So I'm still really narrow on my openings. I think I can get a punch flake here. But over here, I'm not so sure. Let's see if I can sneak one out of this corner. Right. Let me try to get one more flake with pressure over here. Lost a little bit of barb on that one. I'm just gonna go with pressure. Seems to be working. Okay. Now, let's see if I can finish it out with a couple punch flakes. And hopefully that'll be it. I just need my copper punch. There they are. So I've got a pointy one, I've got a flathead one, another pointy one, and a little steel nail flattened down on the end. You know what? I think I'm going to use this tiny little steel nail because that has the least chance of going in too far and blowing something out. So wish me luck. I just kind of want this thing to be round, that way it rests down in that bulb. I never quite understood the perfectly flat square notchers, unless you're just trying to crunch them in. Though I have some that's made like that. Alright. So I'm going to use a lighter weight little smacker. All I'm trying to do is get about 4 more flakes here, so hopefully it works out. So my first one I'm going to go for is going to be right here. Yep. That steel completely crushed my platform. Let's see if I can clean that up a little bit. Ooh, too high. Too high or too stout. That was a good one. That's what we want. Man, I really need a small one right there. Yeah. Now if I can get one right there. I don't know if I like the steel. I got myself in a bind now. Let's move over here on this side and see what I can do. If I have to, I'll just make a big sandy out of it. Watch, this side will go perfect. Surprised that one didn't break it. Heck, it don't look too awful bad just like that. Probably go in there with some pressure and clean them up. Should have been using pressure the whole time, looks like. Finally. Finally let go up in there. Boom, baby. That was the one. That was the one we were waiting on. Not gonna go crazy with my ease. I really like this one. I really like the way this came out. Probably do a little more edge work on it, but there you go. I love that Cortex left on there. Anybody who has ever dug flint at Nethers and we're in Flint Ridge is going to know exactly what that is. Alright, it might be the biggest E-notch I've ever made. Matter of fact, I know it is. Gotta be. I got a tape measure here. Yeah. About 4 1/4. Not bad. Not too bad at all. Alright, guys. If you hung in there, I appreciate it. Hopefully you might have picked something up along the way. E-notch from Flint Ridge. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all on the next one.